I think he's a Fed.
You think he glows?
He like never gets banned from Twitter.
Say it again. What's his name?
Bronze Age Pervert. They call him BAP. BAP.
Okay. I've never heard of this. You're way more like, I don't like social media that much, dude. I just can't get into it. I
don't spend that much time on it, but I just had this idea as I go along. Oh, I should follow this demographic. Like I try to figure out what all these different demographics are, and then follow. Like I try to find a smart person from each like weird point of view, so I get the best stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, you like engage in it and stuff, and talk to people and shit. And I think I don't know.
Sometimes I do. Usually I just say something and like nobody says anything back. It's like yelling into the void.
This is weird. He's got like Alex Jones on here.
Yeah. So he wrote a book. So you know Barry Weiss? You know who Barry Weiss is?
That chick, right? I don't like her.
Yeah, she left the New York Times because she felt like it was too censorious against her moderate opinions or whatever.
Right.
She was on Joe Rogan and stuff.
Yeah,
and she hates
that's what I remember was.
Yeah, she hates like what's her name that ran from Hawaii. What's that chick's name that ran for president? That was from Hawaii.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, she hates Tulsi Gabbard.
That's exactly. Yeah, I remember that clip that Jimmy Dore keeps bringing up of her being like, Tulsi Gabbard is the devil, and then he'll be like, "What do you mean?" And she'll be like, "I don't really know. Could someone look that up for me?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's an Assad toady.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's right.
What's the toady? So she wrote an article about Bronze Age Pervert because I guess he's somehow connected to Steve Bannon or something.
Oh wow, he has 69,000 followers too.
Yeah, and he's into like naked bodybuilding, all this weird shit, and he wrote this book. I think I have his book. He wrote this book. What the hell was the name of the book? He wrote Bronze Age Mindset.
Okay.
And I don't know. It's a bunch of rants. It's like a weird thing. But he thinks that naked bodybuilders should like take over the country or something. like an army of naked bodybuilders could like bring back the Bronze Age. Where I guess like in the Bronze Age, like the men were men, even though they were like had a lot of gay sex. Like they used to like fight wars and shit. So he's saying we should like bring that back and have like a renaissance.
Why
anyway,
nudist?
Like, Barry Weiss,
because he says he's a nudist.
Like,
why?
Well, he just believes in like nude bodybuilding. Well, he posts like Handsome Thursdays. He posts like just like European like bodybuilders like kind of posing like half naked and stuff. He's like trying to bring back. I guess like that's his answer to like feminism. He's like very anti-feminism. And
so is he like
anti-modernist?
Is he like one of these like gay misogynist people?
Well, no, he's like it's really hard to like describe what he is because it's totally not any one thing. But I feel like it's sort of related to like the frog Twitter phenomenon, like the people that like trolled to try to get Trump elected because they're like accelerationists and stuff.
Right.
So he's like part of that.
Tech people.
Part of that. Yeah, he's also sort of tied in with Mencius Moldbug. You heard of that guy?
Yeah, who is that guy? I do know that name.
He had like a blog.
He's the guy that was part of that
Dark Enlightenment.
The Dark Enlightenment, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's sort of like he's like a branch of the Dark Enlightenment.
He's one of the main progenitors of it. Am I using that word right? Anyway, he
appeals to those type of people. He appeals
I
to
know
the
him under a different name,
Moldbug.
and I can't remember what it is though. But
his real name came out. His real name came out. It used to be Mencius Moldbug.
Mencius. I know him as his real name. Hold on, let me. He's I think one of the main. Curtis Yarvin. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's how I know
Curtis Yarvin. So anyway, Barry Weiss wrote this article like this Bronze Age pervert guy. Like he has his finger on the pulse of like the Bannon, like Trump administration. Like, but he's just like this weird dude, like on Twitter, and he used to just like constantly like troll people and like fill their inbox with like gay porn, like celebrities and stuff. He'd like send them like gay porn in their inbox, and he just had like a big Twitter following, and then Barry Weiss like wrote an article about him, and then his book like really took off. Like people were talking about him. But I think what it is I think he like works for like the CIA, and he's trying to infiltrate this like dark enlightenment, like frog Twitter, like weird phenomenon.
What makes you think that?
Like these because people are saying like a lot of you know how a lot of right-wing people are always getting banned off Twitter?
Yeah.
And so he's like a big person on Twitter, and he says all this edgy shit that would get other people banned, but he never gets banned. And like nobody really knows who he is. It's like this, he's totally anonymous, and nobody really knows who he is. He has like a podcast with where he speaks in like a fake accent that nobody could trace.
I have heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah,
the more you've been talking, the more it's like reminding me of shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird. Huh.
So I follow him, and then I'll see other people comment, and I'll be like, oh, I'm going to follow this person. They seem really fucking weird.
Right.
And so I sort of am in touch with like what's going on in like that corner of like the web, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I don't really understand it.
Oh, that's weird, man. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting because it sounds like a fake. The whole thing sounds like a fake character. I'm looking at it.
I think he totally is.
I'm
looking
at
a
the
fag.
Wikipedia about him, which is cracking me up.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah. Read some lines from the Wikipedia. It's probably funny.
I just closed it. Hold on. Bronze Age Mindset. Well, let's see. That's his book, right?
That's his book.
He's
yep.
How do you say that?
Pseudonym.
No, when it's like pseudonym plus anonymous.
Oh, pseudonymous.
Yes,
Pseudonymous.
that's the word. You said it right. No.
Yeah.
Maybe? Pseudonymous?
Yeah.
Pseudonymous?
Yeah.
Far-right writer who self-published a book called Bronze Age Mindset and hosts a podcast. Yes, all these things that you said.
Yeah.
Called Caribbean Rhythms.
Yeah, Caribbean Rhythms.
Why?
Oh, because I think he believes in like living. He believes in always being out in the sun, like being out in the sun a lot.
Okay.
So he believes in like eating like a weird diet and like being out naked in the sun, like lifting weights. Like that's his philosophy.
Okay, Bronze Age Pervert self-published the book Bronze Age Mindset via Amazon Publishing in June 2018. The 77 chapter exhortation is written with intentionally poor grammar, mixing Nietzschean philosophy with criticisms of modern society. So it's
he's big into Nietzsche.
This is a troll, right? Like,
it's a big time troll, yeah.
Bronze Age Pervert explicitly stated that Bronze Age Mindset is not intended as a political manifesto and was written in a mood of revelry and laughter. The mainstream media, he claims, deliberately uses humorlessness as a strategy and pretends to see policy proposals when we engage in fun and trolling. So yeah, he admits to it, huh?
Yeah.
So is he actually right-wing, or is this like a thing that he's doing? Like a character?
Well, I think he's like an anti-modernist, you know? Because you know how Nietzsche was kind of like anti-modernist? Like he liked to harken back to like the blonde beasts that were like these warriors that would just conquer shit, you know?
Yeah, he was.
He didn't believe in democracy. So it's like the Dark Enlightenment because they're like anti-democracy.
Yes, and they want to go back. You're right. That's a big thing with the Dark Enlightenment.
They want to go back because they think everything's like too feminized. Everybody's like soft and has too much comfort. So we all become like barbarians, like barbarian hordes. But then it's all like incels that follow him that live in their mom's basement and they play like World of Warcraft all day.
So is he actually that, or is he making fun of that?
Nobody knows who he is.
Fuck. I'm really interested in this.
That's the thing. Nobody knows. Who is he trolling? Is he trolling the right?
Exactly.
Is he trolling the left?
That's my question right now. It's like he's clearly fake, but why? And wow, this is interesting, man.
And like, who the hell is he?
I think it's kind of perfect that he's in our monkey special, though.
Yeah. Some people think he's like Israeli. He's like an Israeli graduate student that's like he was like really close with like the Straussians. Like they think he maybe was like he had like a sugar daddy that was like a gay like Straussian person. You know the Straussians, right? No, Straussian School of Political Philosophy.
I don't think so. What's up?
Remember like the book The Closing of the American Mind?
Mm-mm.
You've heard of that book?
No.
It was big in the 80s. This guy, he was like this college professor, and he wrote The Closing the American Mind. Like, Google that. I forgot his name. It's like Bloomberg or something, or Bloom. Howard Bloom.
Alan Bloom.
Alan Bloom, yeah. So Alan Bloom was this college professor, and he was not well known, but he was known in certain circles, and he was a Straussian. Because there was this guy, I think his name was Leo Strauss. He was like this political philosopher from a Chicago school.
Okay.
And anyway, they were extremely influential in the neocons. Remember, like, all the neocons were in the Bush administration, and they were in the project for the New American Century.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Remember we were talking about that? We were talking about September 11th, and they had this, like, they wrote this paper, the project for the New American Century. Like, they're saying we should take over all these countries in the Middle East and have, like, regime change. We're going to have, like, this American century where, like, America's going to dominate the globe, and it's going to be for everybody's benefit. And then they had this famous paragraph in this paper they wrote where they're like, this work will probably take several years unless we have a new Pearl Harbor that will give us an opportunity to, like, make bold action.
Wow.
And it was almost like they were sort of talking about September 11th, you know?
Wow, man, that's crazy.
And then after September 11th happened, then they put through their agenda immediately, you know? We went in and, like, invaded Iraq and invaded Afghanistan, did all this shit. So anyway, the Straussians were very influenced by this guy, Leo Strauss. And Howard Bloom was a student of his.
Not Howard Bloom.
Or what's his name?
Because I love Howard Bloom. Alan Bloom, yeah.
Yeah, Alan Bloom was a student of his.
Mm-hmm.
And he was kind of a weird figure because, well, first of all, Leo Strauss had this theory of history that all philosophers speak in riddles, and they always have, like, two messages. They have, like, the exoteric message, and then they have the esoteric message.
Interesting. That's, yeah.
And then most philosophers, if you
like
read them, you'll find,
right?
Yeah, they'll have, like, a secret code, like, in the middle. They'll actually say what they really think, but it'll be in code because they don't want the masses to catch on to it. And also they don't want to be, like, killed like Socrates, because their idea was that, like, Socrates, like, told the truth to everybody, then they eventually killed him because he got sick of hearing it, you know?
Mm.
So they're saying, like, philosophers now, like, ever since Socrates got killed, all the philosophers kind of went underground. And he, like, divided the world in, like, three classes of people. Was like the philosophers, the gentlemen, and the vulgar.
Okay.
So, like, the philosophers are, like, only the people that are, like, the only people that are, like, truly human are, like, these philosophers that are, like, smart enough to know, like, how the world works. But they work with the gentlemen because the gentlemen are the people in charge. Like, they're, like, generals, you know, they're, like, warlords, like, politicians, you know, like CEOs of big corporations. Like, they're like the shakers and the movers, and they just want, like, prestige and honor, you know, whereas, like, the philosophers, they, like, seek wisdom.
Okay.
And so they, like, sort of take people in, like, when the philosopher, and it kind of gets in as, like, some gay shit, though, you know, like, you know how, what was that guy that wrote the temporary autonomous zone?
Oh, Hakeem Bey.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, Hakeem Bey.
Yeah, Hakeem Bey. Like, he had the thing where, like,
he's a pederast.
He was like a pederast. So, like, they think there was the Straussians. There was something like that, you know, because
why was he connected to them, or
no, they weren't, like, connected, but they think there's some kind of gay thing going on where they, like, pass on knowledge, like, through, like,
okay,
yeah, because, like, you know, all these English boarding schools for, like, the rich people, they're all, like, the headmasters, like, always, like, a pederast and stuff, and, like,
yeah.
A lot of the professors are. And they even think that, like, yeah, and they even think, like if you read Lord of the Rings, it gets kind of gay, and they think because he went to one of those schools, you know, and they're saying, like, Frodo is kind of gay for, like, whatever the guy's name is.
Dawkins talking about that. Yeah, like,
yeah, Dawkins, like, oh, it's not so bad. Yeah, I mean, I got fondled, but it's no big deal. So,
right.
Well, anyway, so the thing is, so Alan Bloom became famous overnight for writing this book, and he got, like, adopted by the conservative right, like the Christian right. Okay. But then, like, he also, like, died of, like, HIV or something. Like, he was gay, and but he believed that like it's okay to be gay, but just keep it like secret, you know. So you like make appearances. The vulgar is everybody else.
So
like everybody else, like most
dirty, the great unwashed or whatever.
Yeah, like almost everybody in the whole world is an idiot. That's who the vulgar are. And there's just rich people that are like powerful, and then the philosophers. They're the only ones that count.
It's like I don't even know that he's wrong, really. You know.
Well, I mean, when you read it,
call them the philosophers. What a douchey.
Well, I read like some of his books, you know, and he like sort of talked about some stuff and like what he believes, and he basically believes in like he's like an elitist, you know.
Of course, yeah, because he's a philosopher, right?
Yeah, and they said like the philosopher's job is to help these fucking rich guys, like, you know, do things right, you know, like make the world a better place. Like you can't reach the vulgar because they're too stupid, but some rich guy that'll pay you money, you can help him. You know, so make the world a better place. Get in good with the rich people.
I feel like that's a real like Masonic view too, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's like
they call people vulgar too.
Yeah. So they think that like this guy might be like some Straussian like plaything or something, you know, like some rich guy, some neocon, and so he has like a trust fund and all this time in his hands. I don't know, there's like a lot of different theories, you know, because like. Because how can you spend all your time naked bodybuilding, you know? Like, don't you need a job, you know? Like, who the fuck is this guy, you know?
Or the whole thing is fake is what I'm thinking. And he's probably
Well, it could be like 12 people. It could be like 12 people that post. It's like that guy that updates Wikipedia whenever they try to go after some CEO or some military intelligence person. Like, this one guy will edit it, and they tried to add up all his edits, and he edits like 18 hours a day for like 600 days in a row or something. Like it's impossible that one person could do all the editing. Yeah, have you heard about that guy that edits Wikipedia? Like whenever there's any kind of like establishment thing, like because people will get on Wikipedia and they'll try to like say like left wing stuff about some establishment figure or some intelligence organization, and then it'll get edited by this dude.
Man, how do I find that?
I'll try to look for it later.
Cool.
Because people were trying to like stop him from doing this stuff, and they like try to tally up all his edits, and they're like saying like no one person could make that many Wikipedia edits, and so they think it's like a Wikipedia account that's actually run by like the CIA. It could be like 12 staffers that like do it.
Yeah, well, of course they would do that, though, right? Like,
yeah,
that only makes sense. Like, why would they not do that?
So some people think BAP could be like a whole bunch of intelligence dudes too.
That's interesting, man. This has really piqued my curiosity. I want to look into them.
Yeah,
I love the mystery of trolls. You know what I mean? Like, why?
Yeah, like really good trolls.
Yeah, what's his goal? You know, like who is he? Like you said earlier, who is he trolling? You know, that's weird.
Right? Is he trolling the right or is he trolling the left? But it seems so weird that like he never like gets in trouble enough to get banned from Twitter. Like all these other guys, they do. These pundits, you know.
Yeah, it seems so fucking
they get demonetized,
kicked off of Twitter. Yeah. It's so easy.
Yeah, they get demonetized off of YouTube, then they get kicked off Twitter. Like all this shit happens to right wing pundits. But he's always like tongue in cheek, and he's kind of hard to pin down. But he says a lot of egregious stuff that would get most people banned.